Are apps dead? No, because if I've got this data and I need to activate it somewhere, where am I going to activate it? Where do I meet my customer? I meet my customer on an app.
Hi everyone, my name's Quentin Pinar. I lead our customer transformation solution for PwC and EMEA and our Salesforce Alliance. I'm joined by Paul O'Sullivan from Salesforce, and we're going to be discussing agentic AI revolution.
Thank you, Quentin, for having me. Really appreciate it today. What a phenomenal topic. We are in an AI revolution, right? So it's very exciting. With the world of agentic AI and everything that we're going through with AI at the moment, and the fast pace and the adoption that we're seeing, not just in the consumer space, but in the enterprise space especially, do I think the interface for how people use systems in the future will change? Yes. I think it has to change. I think we're becoming, society and people are becoming more and more focused on, how do I have frictionless experiences? Can I just talk to technology, and should it know what I need to achieve? So I think we are in for change in that kind of experience layer. Do I think the front office applications or any applications are dead? Absolutely not. But I do think we'll see an evolution and a change.
Yeah. So when I look at it, I think to myself, if I'm a CIO and I've spent a fair amount of investment in my business process, my logic, my business rules, like the first question to me is, why would I rewrite that all in a new agentic layer? Like, what's the payoff for me to lift and shift? And I don't know if you've got some thoughts. I mean, because that's the piece that I get stuck on.
Yeah, and it's a challenge, right? Because it's kind of like technology is always when you put technology into an organization, there is a valuable reason as to why, right? Why have I put that in there? Well, I actually think it may be productivity, it may be efficiency, it may be revenue growth, it may be cost takeout, consolidation. Now, over time, we optimize and we drive more efficiency out of what we've put in place, right? So we want to strapline a phrase, right? We want to sweat the asset. We want to get more value from it. But I think what's really interesting is, because I come up against this challenge with many CIOs, it's kind of like, well, I use this technology, and over the last 2 or 3 years, I've invested heavily in automation, robotics, all of that sort of stuff, like just to automate some of those fundamental tasks. And now you're telling me this agentic AI is where I should be moving to. But what's really interesting is, I think the opportunity is to realize how they complement each other.
Yeah.
So can you now apply AI capability and agentic AI to those existing business processes so that those workflows could be automatically executed, but rather than the trigger being a human that will have to drive that execution, you could actually have some sort of autonomous AI that can go and say, I've seen a change in behavior, or I've seen a pattern, and now I know that that's a business process that needs to be run. I'll just go off and do that because I've been given the kind of guardrails and controls to be able to execute that.
It makes me think, I mean, we sometimes talk of like embedded AI. So what you just explained, at least in my mind, you go, how do I take agentic on top of my enterprise applications and automate certain repetitive tasks or data-heavy tasks that, make sense? But it doesn't feel like we're building new real estate or infrastructure somewhere else that is going to replace this. Is my understanding right?
Yeah, I think it all depends on the maturity of where the company's at and the enterprise is at. There are very well positioned existing organizations who have been around for a really long time. They've made great technology decisions. They've picked progressive organizations that are continuously investing in their technology. Quentin, that we do 3 releases a year. And even 3 releases a year isn't enough at the moment when we think about, agentic AI. So they're well placed. But then we've also got organizations that are greenfield organizations that don't have the heritage, and they have an opportunity to disrupt and to innovate. And I think this is where there's a real healthy tension between the two, which is, we quite often said, with this level of disruption, is my strategy good enough? Because are the competitors coming through? So how do you stay on the forefront is going to be a big question. How can you build not necessarily a layer in your organization, but how do you really unlock more agility within your organization to deliver faster outcomes, gain wider market share, from a perspective of customer acquisition? Because we also know that customers are demanding more.
Yeah.
Right. I'm a consumer, so I want more from my products and services. I want more from the brands that I interact with. And this is going to be really crucial, because I think as a consumer, I'm going to make my buying decisions based on what amazing experiences am I having. So an agentic AI offers that opportunity.